Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Dose of Awesome. Holy cow. Daily Dose of Awesome, hosted by Elite Marketing Pro. My name is Chef Katrina, and I am super excited to be on with you guys today. I just want to see how everyone is doing. If you just guys quickly check in and say hello. Excited to have you guys on here. And yes, I do acknowledge that I am a few minutes late to the Daily Dose of Awesome. So today's topic is how to borrow influence to build your business. One of the things that came up over the past couple of days, weeks, months, with a lot of clients that I've been talking to, and definitely some of you guys here in the community, was like, how do you use influence? How do you kind of build a business when you are brand new? You're like, I have no value. I haven't had any success on or offline. None of this has worked for me in the past. How do I get people to like, know, and trust me in building my business? And I think that's a place where many of us start. It's common, right? It's like I get online and everyone's telling me, well, when you have success, you want to share that, or you can build influence. And you're like, yeah, but I haven't generated a single lead. I haven't, really built a team yet. I have nothing, my best friend joined me in this business, and that's all I got going for me right now. Does this sound familiar? If this sounds familiar to any of you guys, kind of like in the place you're at, drop a 1 for sure. I want to make sure that I'm kind of speaking to you where you're at, and that you guys are getting this and you're hearing this, and that this is going to be a topic for you guys around this. So yes, I'm definitely seeing some ones here. You're a newbie. I don't know how this is working. I don't know what I can do with this. How are people going to trust me in getting results and how to use this system if I can't prove that it's worked for myself, right? I guess there's that sense I have to prove it first before I can tell people about it. And so what just came to mind right now, honestly, was like, well, if you had to prove that a car could run, do you have to know all the mechanics of how a car runs in order to know that it runs? Probably not. We all know that if there's a car will run because a car runs. It's been mechanically known for years. People have engineered it and built it. It's all done, right? So how do you use and build influence? How do you borrow influence, I guess, is the better way to go about this, right? Because borrowing influence is actually one of the fastest ways to build credibility. And you're going to look at me and go, that's weird. But here's a scenario that I want you to take a look at. A lot of our top newscasters, a lot of our top celebrities actually got their start by borrowing influence, right? One person that comes to mind right now for me is Oprah Winfrey. She actually built her influence by borrowing the influence of the people she interviewed, right? The whole purpose of somebody that's in a sitcom like that is that they want people that are bigger, better, and greater than they are that they can interview, right? Because it is through borrowing influence of other people that we begin to build our influence. We want to see what they've done. We want to see what's been successful for them. So as an interviewer, right, you can actually build your credibility much faster by sharing the results others have gotten, right? Borrowing their influence, their success. And that is crazy, you guys are thinking, but it's so true. So how do you borrow success? How do you borrow influence to build your business online? So for those of you guys that are with Elite Marketing Pro, one of the ways you borrow influence, right, is by talking about the Elite Marketing Pro blog post. Now, there's a couple of blog posts over there that you guys can borrow for influence, right? There are files over there. There's blog posts over there that talk about attraction marketing. So for you guys that are here in the community, you guys know what attraction marketing formula is. You've probably read the product that you have access to in your back office multiple times if you're like me. Well, we have a lot of blog posts on our Elite Marketing Pro blog that talks specifically to the network marketer. It talks with them about how to build their business online. We talk with them about how to recruit rejection-free. We talk with them about how to leverage social media, what kind of posts you should be having, All of that plays into effect on our Elite Marketing Pro blog. So how do you borrow that influence is that you're going to go out and share that blog post with your audience. You're actually saying, hey, I found a really cool blog that I wanted to share with you. And it's been, Fernie Ceballos, the guy that wrote it, has, been a tremendous impact and influence in the network marketing space, basically teaching us how to build online for the last, couple of, I think like 5-10 years now. Wait, no excuses, 8. So at least the last 8 to 9 years, right? Very influential, built his business, writing content now to basically help us in the internet marketing or the network marketing industry. I highly recommend you check out this post, right? So that's influence. That's actually borrowing the credibility of Elite Marketing Pro and being the person that's sharing it with somebody else. You actually start building your own credibility, right? The same thing happens too with the Monday Mojo. So we talked about this last night a little bit about credibility, how to use influence. So part of my role is I get to interview all these top leaders, right? I've interviewed some of the most incredible leaders in this industry, and it's interviewing top leaders that actually kind of also got me influence. Right? Well, if you're interviewing this person and you're interviewing that person, you must be somebody of importance, right? So the interview process is also a really powerful way to build influence. I have yet to come across a single leader that if you asked and said, hey, I'd like to interview you for a podcast or a blog post or some sort of exposure, that they're going to say no to you, right? Because we're all looking for that. We're all looking for exposure. Even stepping on stage at No Excuses, that's exposure. As a network marketer, stepping on stage at your company event is exposure. Getting into the magazine or publication that your network marketing company offers is exposure. So you always want to look for ways where you can get into and be recognized in front of a much broader audience, right? And so one of the things we talk about is that you're basically borrowing influence to build your business. While you yourself may not have had success, why not go out and interview those in that product and that service that have had success, right? Because what you're showing is that you're connecting people. You are looking to find out the secrets of these leaders, what they've done, what they're doing that got them to where they're at. Right? And you're standing in a place of you're still curious, right? You actually are the one asking these questions, not so much your audience, because you're looking to have these breakthroughs. You're looking to have these success. So borrowing influence actually can be one of the most powerful ways to build your business. We have a lot of success stories on our Attraction Marketing Formula sales page. We have a lot of success stories inside of our community. There is nothing more gratifying, I think, as any of us will tell you, than when we get a question, say, hey, can I share your story on my page? We're not going to say no. Like, wow, that's like an honor and a privilege that you saw my success with the system and you want to share it with your audience, right? Because that's how to borrow influence. You don't have to necessarily produce the results yourself. But you can borrow the influence of those that have had success, especially as a newbie getting started, and recommend it out there. Share it out there. Be consistent in your sharing of what it is looks like to be in a product, a service, or a business. That is what you have at stake, right? That's the simplest way. I don't have to create content. I don't have to worry about coming up with what to talk about. All I got to do is just provide a platform to share what other people have done, what other results people have gotten. And that is the power of it. If you guys look at the Daily Dose of Awesome here, right, we've got some incredible leaders that come on here that get to share with you. This is their place to get influence. Borrow their influence. Borrow their success stories that they've had with Attraction Marketing Formula, with building their business and teams online. Use these stories, share these Daily Dose of Awesomes as a way to share your influence. Like, I'm getting training here and I want to share this with you, right? These are just some of the simple things that you can do that really have a huge impact on your business. And I think Kate McShay said it best yesterday on the Monday Mojo. And if you guys didn't get a chance to tie into the Monday Mojo, where we talked about affiliate marketing and really how to leverage that to build your business, it was incredible, right? So we talked about how do you just leverage the simplicity of this business? How do you just leverage what you already know or don't know and just become a product of the product, right? How do you just go out there and share what's going on? So Kate just really nailed on the head a lot of stuff about get out there, share what people are doing. The easiest route is to just be an affiliate sometime. Just share your affiliate links, share the EMP blog post. Let us do all the heavy lifting so that all you have to do is just connect to your audience. That's sometimes the hardest thing we have to deal with is connecting with their audience, like actually get to know, like, and trust them. But I promise you, when you can start building relationships and trust with people and they know that you're coming from a place of servant leadership, that you're coming from a place of how can I best serve you? How is this going to make a difference in your life? That is where we see the borrowing of influence, right? That's because you're standing in a place of like, what is it to make a difference for somebody else? And when you can make a difference in somebody else's life and you can see them get their first lead online, make their first sale online, recruit their first team member online, it's like the biggest high you can possibly have, because you know that, well, you may not have produced that result yourself. Getting somebody else to produce it just increases your worth, increases your belief, and sets a whole different tone for your team because you're willing to support them no matter what. And I think that's just how to borrow influence to build your business is so powerful, right? So I see a couple of you guys on here. Yeah, David said he's got conferences. If you're going as a network marketer and you've got a conference coming up, go interview these leaders, right? Find out what worked for them. There's just so much you guys can do around borrowing influence, right? You guys, most of you know the story of me asking Tim Irway to lunch. Like, I was willing to buy a millionaire lunch because I really wanted to find out what he was thinking around building this business. I wanted to understand and pick his brain about how he got to where he got to, what was the journey that he was on. That conversation, 3 years later led to a place I didn't even know I was going to go. And it all came down to is I just was curious about another leader. Right? Leaders hang around leaders, not because we want to appear, stuck up and crazy. It's because we're borrowing their influence. We want to know what's working for them. And so we're just as curious as you are, right? Yeah, I'm telling you, take a millionaire to lunch. I think that was one of my favorite things I ever learned and actually implemented. Scary as crap, I'll tell you that. I remember the fear, the anxiety, the doubt, the disbelief, everything. But there's something simple in being an influence. I think Ray Higdon does it really well. He would borrow influence. He had a lot of top leaders on stage. He'd have a lot of interviews with people. He'd go to their live events. He'd ask them questions. He'd then go around and go back to his audience and share with them what he learned from these top leaders, his biggest takeaways. That's what it is, right? It's you becoming just that connector of information. And that's the power of borrowing influence. That's really what attraction marketing is inside of the network marketing industry, is that you're showing yourself to be somebody that, wants others to succeed. And you're going to do that by introducing them to top leaders and products and services that would make a difference in their life, that could potentially help them achieve a level of success. Whether you achieve it or not, you're out there as somebody that's out there to make a difference for the community, for people, and for the world. So that's kind of where I'm coming at with you guys today. This is your daily dose of awesome. This is your 15 minutes of inspiration, motivation, and education. I do highly recommend that if you're here for the first time looking at Elite Marketing Pro, wondering what these daily dose of awesomes are, head over and grab our 10-day bootcamp. This is our free introductory training to the attraction marketing of online. We highly recommend it. If somebody is sharing this with you, click on their link up above. It's probably up there, and get access to that. Follow them, trust in them. They've got exposure to this. They know what they're doing. So trust that the person sharing this with you is sharing this because they want to provide information and training to you that helps make a difference in your business and in your life. So thank you guys again for being on here at the Daily Dose of Awesome. We are here every Monday through Friday. You guys are going to meet top leaders here on the Elite Marketing Pro page. So you guys have an awesome week. I hope you guys are getting tons of value out of these trainings, please make sure you're out there sharing them, making a difference in the world. And my biggest request, that if you're going to borrow influence to build your business, go out and be of service to somebody. Provide a breakthrough for them and their business. And with that, you guys will have some of the biggest breakthroughs in your business. With that, guys, I'm Chef Katrina, and we'll see you inside the communities. Bye, guys.